Let's get into political matters now. The African National Congress in the Western Cape will finally hold its 9th provincial conference to elect a new leadership. It's the only region that could not gather before the National Conference in Nasrec last year. All proceedings are set to take place at the Cape Town International Convention Center this weekend, and that's where we find Newzroom Afrika's Athi Mtongana, who is attending that conference for us. Athi, good morning to you once again. ANC conferences have the propensity to not conclude at times, and that's because there is a squabble over who's supposed to be at conference legally, and there are those that will be labeled ghost delegates. Is the party confident that this conference will conclude its work this weekend?
Well, Wally, I have the perfect person to respond to that question, and that being the communications head of the ANC in the Western Cape, Sifiso Mtsweni, who's behind me. And also behind me earlier on were scores of delegates. The party is expecting some 700 delegates to be at the Cape Town International Convention Center for this elective conference of the ANC in the Western Cape. Now, let me bring him into the conversation. So, Wally is asking whether, you would be able to go through your processes in time. He's pointed out to the history of the African National Congress insofar as conferences, when it comes to verifying names, delegates, legally, etc. Are you confident on that regard?
Well, as you can see, we've been hard at work. Registration is going smoothly. We're expecting the conference to start just after 12. Look, the process of organizing this conference has been very thorough. You guys in the media have always been asking us, when is the conference? And we kept on emphasizing that we want to do things in a proper way. We don't want to rush things. We want this conference of the Western Cape, because the province is in such a challenging state. We wanted to concentrate on the real content issues, on how best the ANC can actually rise from the ashes. So I can confidently tell you now, all processes with regards to branch nominations have gone well. All processes in terms of branch general meetings have gone well. As we are here today, all the delegates are here. There are no problems. As you can see, it's peaceful, it's nice. I can tell you now, we'll finish our business in time.
Who is going to be opening the conference from the top 7?
Well, we're expecting the Secretary General to open, Comrade Fikile Mbalula. And then on Sunday, we're expecting the President of the ANC to actually close the conference.
I see one of the people who have been put forward, whose name, he's behind you. If you can just turn and see who I'm talking about. Yeah. That's Cameron Dugmore. He's the leader of the ANC in the provincial legislature. Let's talk about those nominations. The last time we spoke to you in a press conference, you said the names came from the branches.
Yes.
Would you perhaps shed more light? Because Cameron Dugmore is one person who's reportedly vying for the chairperson position. Richard Janki, we just saw him come in now. He's another person vying for the chairperson position. Give us the names. Who is the most likely, or let me say, whose names have been confidently put up by those branches in the Western Cape?
Well, today, Ati, it's your lucky day, because the electoral agency has opened all the envelopes, all the nominations. They've recorded them. Immediately after this interview, we're meeting as the IPC to receive that report. And then as soon as the Secretary General has actually addressed the conference, we'll allow the media to be an open session, and all the candidates that have been nominated will be made public today.
All the candidates will be made public. How many do you have on that list?
Well, I can't say now. I've not seen the report of the elections agency. But as you said, various lobby groups have raised names, as you've pointed out now. And all we can say is that the candidates that have been raised, they've got a very important responsibility on their shoulders. I think what is critical for us in the Western Cape is that we need to learn from our past. We need to make sure that the leadership outcomes reflects the demographics of this province, reflects the landscape of this province, reflects the type of leadership that will engineer some confidence amongst the people of the Western Cape. I mean, the DA leadership has shown that they've got a disregard for our people. There are floods currently happening. The DA is nowhere to be seen. They are flying around in Ukraine. They are everywhere, all over the show. They are not here. So what we really want here, beyond the beauty contest of names, we want a leadership that is going to take our people out of the morass that they find themselves in and really take the DA out of this particular province.
Definitely going to be very important leading up to the general elections for 2024. Sifiso, thank you so much for your time. We'll continue getting updates from him, as he has pointed out, Goli. To open this conference will be Fikile Mbalula, as well as the closing then will be the president, that being President Cyril Ramaphosa, perhaps on Sunday. But as you've heard him, there are those names. He does not want to give us who is going to be vying for that chairman position, but we already know that there are those names that have been put in the public domain, like Mr. Cameron Dugmore, who just stepped in, Richard Janki, who's also just stepped in to get his accreditation so we can head to the Cape Town International Convention Centre.
Athi Mtongana keeping a watchful eye on the proceedings at that conference. Thank you very much for the time being. All right.